Up. We've got an amazing conversation with a panel of guests that will blow your mind. If you're interested in work of blockchain, you're interested in seeing how the car world is developing and how it all comes together, then there's no better place than right here, right now. Whether you're looking at it from a point of view of being an expert or you're just curious as to see the possibilities that could open for you, then make sure you stick around for the next half an hour right here at the chat box stand, because we're going to be talking to some experts about it and giving you opportunity to ask some questions from the people who know more about it than anybody else, certainly in this region, and you can see how you can get involved as well. So if you'd like to make your way down here, I'd like to introduce our host for the panel, who's going to then introduce the guests, and you can find out exactly how it all comes together. Put your hands together for Mr. John Lillywhite.
Hello. Hi guys, welcome to No Filter Dubai, and also we'll be recording this video for the Future Blockchain Summit. Today we have here Charles and Anthony from Jumy, and we have Dr. Marwan as well, who needs no introduction. And we're here to talk about NFTs, NFT collecting, as well as cars. And hopefully you'll see the connection between the two as we move forward. But I guess to begin with, Jumy, could you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do, how you're using NFTs, and what's a little bit different about your NFT art boutique?
Okay, I can do that. So yeah, my name is Anthony. I'm one of the co-founder of Jumy with Charles. And Jumy essentially is a premium NFT marketplace, a boutique marketplace for digital art. You know, we run on the blockchain to essentially guarantee the authenticity and the scarcity of the digital creations. I think there are two things that kind of define Jumy. You know, the first one is that our platform is fully curated. So, you know, we only work with the most creative digital artists, and we do so to guarantee an outstanding quality of content. So that's number one. And secondly is that we designed the platform in a way to bring a fully integrated digital art experience. So now what does it mean, you know? It means that, you know, on top of trading your NFTs, you're going to be able to order physical NFT frames, for example. You're going to be able to, you know, for example, we're going to provide every single users with a virtual gallery where they can showcase their own digital art creations. And so, yeah, that's why we wanted to create this seamless interconnection between the virtual and the physical as well.
Okay, thanks for that. Quick question. Does everyone know what an NFT is, or do we need a quick introduction? Quick introduction to what an NFT art is? Like, raise your hands if you know what an NFT is. Oh, I think we're pretty good. Okay, Dr. Marwan, can you give us a very quick lightning introduction and then talk about what you've been doing with cars and why that's kind of new and interesting?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. That's actually, by the way, my daughter. She knows what NFT is already. So they get it. We don't actually. People my age and above don't get it usually. And that's why it's basically doing analogies don't give it justice. Basically, NFT is a way of proving that you own something, like a certificate, but digital certificate. It's not a printed certificate. When you buy something like an autographed ball, you always get these digital certificates that prove that this is not faked by somebody, you know. And it's usually from a really authentic, you know, collection company, and that's approved and audited and that kind of stuff. It's the same thing now, but with digital content. The only collectible digital thing in the past was domain names, because it was approved by a central authority. And when you buy something like Marwan.com, nobody else in the world is Marwan.com except me. Now you can do the same thing with art. Any artist can publish a one-off or a multiple limited edition, like maybe 50 or 100 of the exact same art, or create a collection. And usually those are around 10,000. And each one is unique because each one has its own traits and properties. So that makes the new collection is not only domain names, but things like names within games, things that you can collect, like artifacts within a certain ecosystem, like a virtual world, or even an individual diamond, could be an individual car that comes with this certificate to prove that it's one of one from this manufacturer or this custom car builder.
Okay, that's a great explanation, and we can talk about virtual assets and not just art a little bit later. But so going back to the cars, you know, if I have a really cool car, and let's say a very famous artist comes and does some graffiti on it or something, it's, you know, the value of the car will probably go up depending on how famous the artist is, right? Now, what's going on with these very cool NFT cars that you've produced? What's the thinking there? Because, you know, if I buy a car, I want to get, you know, I want it to be fashionable, I want to get from A to B. Why would I want my car, if I've invested in it, also to have some NFT art or branding or kind of an NFT commodity or virtual asset on it? What's the resale value? Why is that important? Why is that cool?
I think the best person that explained it is Vesa, who is the artist that did my cars, and he explained it to me, and I didn't get it at first. So he was saying that you should not get a new car and do art on it to prove a point, because the car, as soon as you get it out of the dealership, the value starts going down. There's no way that you can actually get the value up except scarcity, right? So if there's less and less of a certain car, then more valuable it becomes. But if there's abundance of it, no matter how cool and collectible it is, it still depreciates in value because it ages. It's a depreciating asset. So how do you bring it back? You bring it back with adding something scarce to it, and NFTs is a perfect catalyst for this. If you put a limited art piece on the car, even though it was used car, the value of the art is the one that brings the value of the car up.
That's amazing. I actually didn't understand that business model. It makes total sense. It's almost like, you know, having a car from one of the old movies that they actually used on the movie.
And we did that as well.
Oh, okay, that makes total sense. But all right, so that's a good segue into talking a little bit about collecting. I used to work in the art market. I used to work with collectors in the Middle East quite a lot. And then I stopped and moved into the tech scene. So it's really funny to be back in 2021, and we're talking about collecting now in a whole new way. So Charles, you mentioned that one of the things Jumy wants to do is basically build a community, which is almost like the tech phrase for this, but also build a community of collectors. Now, what do you mean by that? Why do you think it's interesting? Why do you think it's an addition to what has already been kind of happening in the art market for obviously hundreds of years, but with new technology?
Yeah, so basically we can use NFT for giving membership access for any NFT owner. And we, at Jumy, we don't want any collectors. Jumy and other NFT projects, not only Jumy, but we don't, in our company, we don't want any NFT owner to feel left over. So it's very important for us to create this collector membership to also allow people to meet the artists and to speak with the artists, to have a real exchange, understand what's behind the art, what was in the artist's mind, and really create a community between the artist and the collectors.
But there's also like a degree, in a way there's a degree of exclusivity, right? If you own an Ope, or if you own, you know, I own some quite well-known Levant artists and Iraqi artists. So, you know, when I hang out with my friends who know art, we can talk about this artist. So if you're curating NFT art, and you know, you have individuals here who really like this artist, or who have a couple of artworks that are quite exclusive,